Sergeant Daniel Carter had seen the worst of war. Stationed in a remote village in Afghanistan, his days were filled with uncertainty, loss, and the ever-present weight of duty. His squad patrolled dangerous terrain, knowing that every step could be their last. But amidst the chaos, fate had something unexpected in store for him. One scorching afternoon, while searching an abandoned compound for insurgents, Daniel heard a faint whimper from behind a crumbling wall. Cautiously, he stepped forward, weapon raised, scanning the area. Then he saw it, a thin, dust-covered dog with golden-brown fur cowering behind a pile of rubble. The dog's ribs showed through his filthy coat, his ears drooped, and his eyes held a mixture of fear and longing. Daniel knelt, setting his rifle aside. "Hey there, buddy," he whispered, extending a hand. The dog flinched but didn't run. Slowly, Daniel reached into his vest and pulled out a small piece of dried meat from his rations. He placed it on the ground and stepped back. The dog hesitated, then inched forward, devouring the food in seconds. That was the beginning. The dog, whom Daniel named Shadow, never left his side after that. At first, his fellow soldiers laughed at the idea of a stray dog following them around in a war zone, but Shadow quickly won them over. He had an uncanny ability to sense danger, barking at seemingly empty alleys, growling at suspicious figures, and on one occasion, stopping Daniel from walking into what turned out to be a hidden IED, improvised explosive device. "You've got yourself a guardian angel," Private Ellis said one evening as Shadow curled up at Daniel's feet near the campfire. Shadow wasn't just a protector, he became a source of comfort for the entire squad. When letters from home brought bad news, when they lost a comrade, or when nightmares plagued their sleep, Shadow was there, silent, loyal, offering a warmth that words couldn't. One fateful night, while on patrol near a mountain pass, the squad fell into an ambush. Bullets rained down from the cliffs above and explosions shook the ground. Chaos erupted as soldiers scrambled for cover, returning fire. Daniel felt a searing pain in his leg as a bullet grazed him, knocking him to the ground. His radio was destroyed in the skirmish, leaving him unable to call for help. Blood soaked his uniform as he struggled to stay conscious. Then, through the haze of pain and gunfire, he heard it, Shadow's furious barking. The dog darted through the battlefield, weaving between bullets, snapping at enemies who came too close. Shadow reached Daniel's side, nudging him, whining as if urging him to move. With the last of his strength, Daniel grabbed Shadow's collar. The dog pulled, dragging him inch by inch toward cover. A deafening explosion rocked the area as backup arrived, pushing the enemy back. But Shadow stayed with Daniel, refusing to leave his side, even as medics rushed in. Daniel woke up in a military hospital weeks later, his leg bandaged, his body weak but alive. The first thing he asked was, "Where's Shadow?" His heart sank when the medic hesitated. He was wounded, but he made it, she reassured him. "The guys wouldn't let anything happen to him. He's waiting for you outside." Tears stung Daniel's eyes as he struggled to sit up. Moments later, Shadow was brought in, his own wounds patched up, tail wagging, eyes filled with relief. The dog jumped onto the hospital bed, licking Daniel's face, whining softly. "You saved my life, buddy," Daniel murmured, burying his face in Shadow's fur. "I owe you everything." When Daniel's deployment ended, he knew he couldn't leave Shadow behind. He worked tirelessly to get the necessary paperwork to bring Shadow back to the US. It wasn't easy, but after months of waiting, the day finally came. As Daniel stepped off the plane, a crowd of friends and family greeted him. But he barely noticed them because there, waiting for him, was Shadow, tail wagging, eyes bright. Life after war wasn't easy. Daniel struggled with PTSD, haunted by memories of the battlefield. But Shadow was always there, his silent protector, his reminder that he had made it home. Years later, as Daniel sat on his porch, watching the sun set with Shadow at his feet, he whispered, "I saved you once, but you saved me 1,000 times more." Shadow wagged his tail as if he understood, because in the end, they had saved each other.